Hello friends, my name is Preeti Gajjar, lecturer in Computer Department from UPMP Polytechnic. My subject is Database Management System. Unit name is Database System Architecture and the topic name is Data Independence and Mapping. Objectives. After watching this video, you will be able to learn about data independence. There are two types, physical data independence and logical data independence, and mapping. Again, there are two types of mapping, conceptual/internal mapping and external/conceptual mapping. Data independence. It is the characteristics of a database system to change the schema at one level without having to change the schema at next higher level. That means whenever we need to change anything at any level in a database system, then if we do any change at one level, then that level will not affect at the other next higher level. So that freedom is known as a data independence. There are two types of data independence. One is physical data independence and second is logical data independence. It is the ability to modify the internal schema without requiring any change in application programs. That means if you need to modify anything at internal level, then that change will not affect in the application program or it will not affect at our external level. So this is the freedom of physical data independence to modify the internal schema. Changes at internal level requires to improve the performance. Why we need to do any changes? So to improve the performance of our database, sometimes it is required to change at internal level. So possible modifications are like change in data structure, compression techniques, hashing algorithm, storage devices, etc. Logical data independence. It is the ability to modify the logical schema without requiring any change in application programs. Again, when we need to change anything at the logical schema, then it is not affected that change in the application programs. Means we are free to change anything at logical level and it will not affect our user's view or application programs. This is known as logical data independence. Changes at the logical level are necessary whenever the logical structure of the database is altered. That means when we need to change the design of our schema or design of our database, at that time logical data independence comes in the picture. So whenever there is a change in at any designing level, then changes at logical level are necessary and whenever the logical structure of the database is altered. Let's see with the help of a figure. This is the figure of data independence of 3-tier ANSYS Spark architecture. Here we can see that there are 3 levels of schema: internal, conceptual and more than one external schemas are there. On the right side we can see there is a line of physical data independence between internal schema and conceptual schema. So when we need to change anything at a physical level, we need to modify our internal schema. So if we change our internal schema, then it will not affect our conceptual schema. So that is the physical data independence. We are free to do any changes at a physical level without changing any conceptual level or external level. Same way, there is a line drawn between a external schema and conceptual schema and it is a logical data independence. Likewise, physical data independence, when we need to do any changes at conceptual level or we can say at a logical level, and if we do that change, then it will not affect our external level. So that is known as logical data independence, as we are free to change anything at conceptual level without affecting external level. So this same figure is also applicable for the next topic, which is mapping. We can see in a figure in the left side there are two types of mapping shown: conceptual oblique internal mapping and external oblique conceptual mapping. Let's see what is mapping. Mappings. The process of transforming request and result between the three levels are called mapping. So whenever we need to access the database, we access the three levels of ANSYS per architecture. So our request is sent to the database at physical level, and it will display the results at the application level or external level. So between these three levels there are two interfacing level, and it is called, there are two mappings, and these two types are conceptual oblique internal mapping and external oblique conceptual mapping. First is conceptual oblique internal mapping. It relates conceptual schema with internal schema. So it defines correspondence between the conceptual schema and the database stored in a physical device. So communication between the physical device and this conceptual schema is known as conceptual or internal mapping. It specifies how the conceptual records and fields are presented at internal level. In case of any change at physical level, the conceptual or internal mapping needs to be changed accordingly. So we can achieve this way the data independence also. That means if we do any change at physical level, then the mapping needs to be changed. It does not affect our conceptual or external schema. So this way we can get the independence of modifying at any level, and it will not affect the other level. What only change is the mapping. External oblique conceptual mapping. This is the second type of mapping. It relates each external schema with conceptual schema. As we know, we have a different user's view at external schema level. So all these external schemas are communicate with conceptual schema. It defines correspondence between a particular external view and conceptual schema. It specifies how different names in user's view are presented at the conceptual level. So if there is a change in user's view, then only the mapping of external oblique conceptual is going to change, or if there is any change at conceptual level, then the mapping between external and conceptual is going to be changed, but there is no need of change at any level of three-tier ANSYS per architecture. So this way again we get the data independence also. This is the same figure as we shown for the data independence. It is also used for mapping. So we can see in the left side there are two interfacing line for one for conceptual oblique internal mapping, that is between internal and conceptual schema, and another for external oblique conceptual mapping, and that is between external schema or different users view and between conceptual schema. So this way we can maintain the mapping and data independence both. Thank you.